It's a really exciting movement. We're proud to be a part of this. Now, before we bring up our speakers today, TEDx ABQ generally gives our speakers about 3 months to prepare. We provide them with a lot of coaching and a lot of time. We've done this kind of in a little bit of an accelerated time frame. Our speakers have worked very hard to make this possible. But this is a scary place up here. It's a little, you guys are scary people out there. So I'm going to need you all to give them a very warm reception. So can we practice that once? Let's practice that once. All right, welcome. The curator today, Nancy Mariette.
That's what we're talking about. As much energy as possible, we need it from you. Everyone's in the back. Come. We're loving people, really. It's okay. So my name is Nancy. I've had the pleasure of helping put this hour together for you. I hope you enjoy it. I've had some really wonderful people doing this, and heard some really amazing ideas. And our first speaker is Mr., you know him, I'm sure, Mr. Matthew Guillen. And he's got some really wonderful ideas on language, business, and how to communicate between the two.
You are a product of your environment. Your environment shapes you, makes you think the way you do. More important, the size of your thinking, your attitudes, your goals, your beliefs, your very personality is formed by your environment. That excerpt did not come from a community health or public health article as you might expect. That excerpt came from a book called The Magic of Thinking Big, a business motivational book. As a public health professional, I was surprised and delighted to read such an excerpt from a business motivational book. You see, most people think of business and public health as two different worlds, two different realms, if you will. For the last few years, I've had this entrepreneurial spirit bubbling up inside of me, and I've been struggling with these two sides. On the one side, the desire to make a product or service that's of value to other people and make some money. But on the other side, public health and promoting healthy communities, promoting healthy environments. I'd like to offer how these two worlds can intertwine. Now, at public health conferences such as this one, we love this interaction that we can have, the networking, exchanging of ideas, and it's wonderful. But the business community is not here, for the most part. Nor are we invited to business conferences. There is a disconnect between these two worlds. Now, why does this disconnect even matter? Well, the management and leadership of all government agencies, especially locally, that I know of, are placing priority in economic development right now. Therefore, I think, as public health professionals, we need to show how these intertwine. A paper was published in 2000 for the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. I'm sure you know that foundation well. The finding of this paper for them, the number one challenge between these two groups getting together, their number one finding was lack of a common language. No common working language. Once that happens, then, theoretically, deeper conversations can happen. I propose that that common language starts with one word. Yeah, it's just that simple. Starts with one word. Leverage. Let me hear you say it, please.
Leverage.
Good, but a lot of people. Let me hear you say it, please.
Leverage.
All right. You may be familiar with this concept from high school physics or college physics. When you have an object that you can't move by yourself, your effort alone can't do it. So you find a tool, a lever, and you multiply your efforts for a greater result, and you get it pushing. Leverage. In business, leverage is a sought-after trait. Being able to produce a product that sells over and over and over and over and over again. A friend of mine just published an ebook on Amazon. After the first person read it, he didn't have to rewrite the whole book. He was able to sell it over and over and over. Or create a business team of tens, hundreds, thousands of people that multiply your hours and efforts into a desired goal. Public health. We also need to utilize leverage. I bet you're familiar with the socio-ecological model. We talk about that all the time. That smallest circle on the bottom, that's where individual care happens. Now, sometimes we all need individual care, but when we focus on that, we're not utilizing leverage. We actually focus, or need to focus on, how do we make our communities healthier for all the people in the circle, including us, to live healthier. When we leverage our efforts to make it easier to eat healthy, to make it easier to be active, to make it easier to get an education, that's utilizing leverage. So both of these worlds actually have a real common concept. Now granted, not all businesses are really working for our end goal. There's a lot of conflict there. But I challenge all of us. There's a lot of businesses, big and small, that believe in protecting public health. We need to use this common language and get conversations going. And that happens with one word: leverage. Thank you.